Good morning. I am here with Margaret Thompson, and she is with the Paderewski Gallery here in Beaver Creek. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell me a little bit of the kind of art that you do?
Absolutely. So I'm a bronze sculptor. I work typically with biology forms found in nature here, fungi, chrysalids. So yeah, that's my subject matter, and using that, kind of studied a lot of Buddhist philosophy, and so using those forms found in nature here, fusing that with kind of some of the thought forms behind the Buddhist philosophy, and fusing those together to make beautiful art.
How cool. I always think of Beaver Creek as almost like a little sculpture mecca because we've got so many cool sculptures around the area. How did you find Beaver Creek and the gallery? How did you get started with this gallery out here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had been sculpting again. I went to school for art, and sculpture is what I studied there. And so when I graduated college, did some other things, found sculpture again, and was sculpting for about 2 or 3 years before I decided to move up to Beaver Creek. Just life brought me up here, the mountains, the lifestyle, everything about it. So I was working here, and I wanted to get to know how to work with clients better, actually, and so I took a position with Paderewski Fine Art. So I'm also a representative with them, and that's where I show my work as well. So yeah, it was just one thing led to another.
That's awesome. And then also at Paderewski, it's not just sculpture. There's so much more there. Could you tell us about some of the different types of art they also have over at the gallery?
Absolutely, yeah. We represent mostly sporting and wildlife art. That's kind of our niche. So lots of hunting dogs, quail, turkey, pheasant, all of that kind of stuff, as well as fishing, flats fishing. So it's mostly paintings and then bronzes that we represent.
That's so neat. And I know every now and then too, they'll have demonstrations in the plaza and they'll show different artists who are actually doing painting or there are different types of art. You were telling me about something that was coming up that you were going to be doing. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will be live sculpting over at Terra Bistro on the 16th and 17th. That's a Wednesday, Thursday evenings coming up in January. So yeah, come on over, reserve a seat. It's going to be a full house, so make sure you give a call in and get your spot reserved. But yeah, I'll be sculpting all night there from, I believe, 6 to 10 live in-house and creating something brand new.
I love that because if I try and draw or sculpt anything, it looks like a 5-year-old did it. So whenever I watch the artist, work live in front of me, it's so neat to see how fast and easily that turns into something, beautiful. I mean, I can make a clay ball, and that's about the extent of my sculpture. Do you know what subject you sort of are going to be doing whenever you do your live sculpting?
Yeah, actually, I drew the piece last night. I've been going through some changes, especially, we've come into the dark time of the year, the solstice, and we're coming out into the light. And so I've got a new piece that's informed by different fungal forms that I've studied, and kind of fusing that to create an abstracted shape that is focusing on kind of like in-breath and out-breath, so that the breathing in, letting go, taking in the new stuff, and letting go what you don't need as we come into the new year.
And that is so nice because you get to ask the artists questions while they're doing it. So it's definitely, it's a unique experience to watch that all unfold in front of you. So stay with us, lots more coming up, and thank you, Margaret, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.